Good morning, all.
Good morning, sir.
Good morning.
Morning, sir.
Good morning, sir.
Yeah. So in the last part, we were discussing about that graphical representation. There we discussed about the displacement time graph as well as velocity time graph. So there we discussed that in case of displacement time graph, basically, if you are finding out the slope of this curve, then that will give the value of ds divided by dt, which is nothing but velocity. So we are observing it with respect to velocity in case of displacement time graph. Then we discussed about that velocity time graph. In case of velocity time graph, this slope will give the value of dv divided by dt, which is known as rate of change of velocity, which is nothing but acceleration. So we calculate things related to acceleration in terms of like in case of velocity time graph. And we discussed about different type of graph in velocity time. So we discussed about a graph which is parallel. That means acceleration is 0. If it is making an angle, if it is making a straight line, then we can say that acceleration is positive. And if we are having any curved lines, like if you're having a line something like this, if you're having a curved lines, it indicates that there is a change in velocity. So all these things are representing non-uniform acceleration other than straight line in velocity time graph. This is representing a non-uniform acceleration. So we are having only cases up to uniform acceleration. So we discussed up to straight line in the last class. So just remember about that cases in velocity time graph. Baki jo bhi graph aayega, it is representing a non-uniform accelerated motion. Now discuss about next part, which is nothing but acceleration time graph. Okay. So around the heading acceleration time graph. Acceleration time graph. Now, if you are having an acceleration time graph, and in case of acceleration time graph, if you are finding out the value of slope, let's say if you are calculating the value of slope or the value of tan theta, you can write this is equal to, in this situation, what will get? If it is dA by dt. So we'll get dA divided by dt. What is dA by dt? dA means change in value of acceleration. dA by dt means rate of change of acceleration. So basically we don't have any such a term like rate of change of acceleration. हम लोग acceleration तक ही है. Like rate of change of displacement velocity हो गया. Rate of change of velocity acceleration हो गया. And we don't have a term called rate of change of acceleration. ऐसा हमने कुछ term define नहीं किया है. So over here, basically slope is giving the change in value of acceleration with respect to time, and we don't have any specific term for that. And we already discussed that we don't have any term something like or non-uniform acceleration. So actually the slope is representing the value of rate of change of acceleration. Okay. Just write down this one. So this is representing basically a rate of change of acceleration. लिख दिया?
Yes, sir.
Yeah.
Sir.
Now we'll discuss about what are the different possible graph in acceleration time graph. Okay. So in case of acceleration time graph, let's say our first graph is something like this. So tell me what this graph represents.
Uniform velocity.
Uniform velocity, or what about
Zero
acceleration?
acceleration.
Zero acceleration.
Zero acceleration. So over here you can write theta is equal to 0. That means change in acceleration is not there. That means acceleration is constant.
Acceleration is constant.
Yeah. And here also we can say that the value of theta is equal to 0. That is also represents that acceleration, change in acceleration is 0 or acceleration is a constant. And this one is also representing the same thing. Change in acceleration is 0. That means acceleration is constant.
Constant acceleration.
Now we can identify what about the difference between them. Actually, this one represents that acceleration is positive. This represents that acceleration is 0. And this represents that acceleration is negative. So that's the difference between these three graph. Acceleration constant है, एक में positive है, एक में negative है, और एक में 0 है. So you can just write down this graph, and you can write down what it represents. So it represents that acceleration is 0. It represents that positive acceleration. And it represents negative acceleration.
Sir, how that can be negative acceleration?
Negative y-axis में ना बेटा.
Sir, but like there is no the direction is same. It is increasing in the positive direction. It is
No, there
constant.
is-
It is constant in the positive direction.
Yeah, it is positive. It is constant, and there is no meaning of that word in positive direction.
Okay.
What do you mean by, है ना? आपने जो sentence को ध्यान से देखो, what you are saying is constant in positive direction.
Yeah.
There is no meaning of constant in positive direction, and right side is not representing direction. This is acceleration time graph है.
Okay.
तो आपका x axis में वो आपने जो right side सोच रहे हो वो time है. Okay, not direction.
Got it.
This graph is not representing any direction. Graph is just saying whether the value is positive or negative.
So done.
Okay. So any other type of graph over here is definitely going to represent non-uniform accelerated motion. So acceleration time graph mein,
graph.
Yeah.
Can you show the upper one?
no, we are just drawing it to represent what do you mean by slope over there. Okay.
Okay. sir.
So any other type in acceleration time graph is representing basically non-uniform accelerated motion, and we are not having non-uniform accelerated motion. So on acceleration only remember these things like zero acceleration, positive acceleration, and negative acceleration. Okay. So these are the different type of graph that we are using in case of like displacement time graph, velocity time graph, and acceleration time graph. Okay. Now, sometimes they may give some graph and they'll ask to check it whether this graph is possible or not. Okay. So they may give some velocity time graph, displacement time graph, acceleration time graph, etc. So assume that a displacement time graph is given something like this. And they'll ask to find out whether this graph is possible or not. So over here, कोई भी क्वेश्चन में अगर ऐसा कुछ दिया है the graph is possible or not, so what we have to do is we have to just draw a straight line which is perpendicular to time axis. we can just draw a straight line which is perpendicular to time axis. So if there is a graph which is perpendicular to time axis, and if it is touching more than 2 points, मतलब A point में touch कर रहा है और A point में भी touch कर रहा है. So this graph represents that at the same time, let's say at a time is equal to t, particle is having two different displacements. मतलब particle दो अलग अलग position में same time में था. That is the meaning of this graph. Particle point A पे भी था, particle point B पे भी था at the same time. Is it possible?
No, sir.
No,
No.
sir. No.
तो कोई भी ग्राफ में अगर आप एक स्ट्रेट लाइन ड्रॉ कर रहा है, अगर स्ट्रेट लाइन परपेंडिकुलर टू टाइम एक्सिस अगर दो पॉइंट में टच कर रहा है, दैट मींस दैट ग्राफ इज नॉट पॉसिबल. ओके, सो it cannot, it not only in the case of like circular graph or something, like suppose if you are having a graph, let's say something like this, if you are representing a graph like this. So here also we can say that if I'm just drawing a straight line parallel to this, sorry, perpendicular to time axis, अगर वो more than one point में touch कर रहा है, that means this graph is not possible. एक particle को एक time में एक ही position में हो सकता है. It cannot have more than one
एक ही
particle.
टाइम पे दो पोजीशन भी नहीं रह
हाँ,
सकते.
तो दो पोजीशन में पॉसिबल नहीं है. सो कोई भी ग्राफ अगर टाइम एक्स का हमने स्ट्रेट लाइन ड्रॉ कर रहा है, इफ इट इज टचिंग मोर देन 2 पॉइंट्स, देन दैट ग्राफ इज नॉट पॉसिबल. तो एक कांसेप्ट यूज करके आप चेक कर सकते हैं whether the graph is possible or not. ठीक है, so just remember these things. Sometimes they may ask situation related to that. So these are the different type of graph that you need to careful in case of displacement, velocity as well as acceleration time graph. So हमने स्टार्टिंग में डिस्कस किया था, हम लोग ग्राफ को ऑब्जर्व करने के लिए नॉर्मली we'll use two technique. One is nothing but around 99% cases we'll observe only by using the concept of slope. तो अभी हमने कितना भी ग्राफ है वो सब स्लोप का कंसेप्ट यूज करके ही ऑब्जर्वेशन किया है. Same as like that, we are having one more technique for observing a graph, that is finding out the area under the graph. So we'll discuss what do you mean by area under the graph, that we already discussed in that basic maths. Once again, we'll discuss what is area under the graph, what it represents, and how we can use that technique in displacement time graph, velocity time graph, acceleration time graph, etc. So first, just we'll recollect what are the information that we are having about area under the curve. I think you are remembering that if you are having a curve between y and x axis, so in case of basic maths we discussed how to find out the area under this curve. To find out the area under this curve, what we are doing is we are dividing this one into infinite number of small parts. आपको अगर area under the curve and x-axis find out करना है, so we are dividing this one into infinite number of small parts. Each part is having a width of dx, and height of the small part we are taking it as y. So area of the small portion we can take it as dA, which is equal to height y into thickness dx. And if you like to find out the total area, so we are writing total area will be equal to integration of dA or integration of y dx. So within the specified limit, we are going to get the value of total area over here. So we know that area under the curve and x-axis will be integration of y dx. Okay. So now we'll discuss how we'll use this concept for solving questions in kinematics. So in kinematics, we already discussed about three differential equations. I think you might be remembering that three differential equation. First differential equation was v is equal to ds divided by dt. And second differential equation was a is equal to dv divided by dt. And the third differential equation was a is equal to v dv divided by ds. So basically we are having only three differential equations. Now I'll discuss how we can use this one in area under the graph. So from the first equation, that is v is equal to ds divided by dt, I can write the value of this ds is equal to nothing but v dt. Now if I'm integrating on both the sides, integration of ds is going to be nothing but s. Okay? So s is nothing but displacement, which is equal to nothing but integration of v dt. Got it? Now we'll discuss what do you mean by integration of v dt. Suppose if we are having a graph between velocity and time. So if you are having a velocity time graph, and if you are finding out area under velocity time graph, so what about the equation for area under velocity time graph? What about the equation for area under velocity time graph? Integration
dv
of
by dt.
no area under velocity time graph. Integration of
dv by dt, ds by dt.
no. You are not getting what I am saying.
By ds.
Integration
आप देखो
dv by dt.
या एंड आप ये देखो अगर y और x का बीच में ग्राफ है, so what is area under the curve and x axis?
dv by dt.
Integration of y dx, है ना? Integration of y dx. Same as like that, if there is a graph between velocity and time, so if you are finding out the value of area under the curve, this will give the value of integration of v dt.
dt.
समझा? So over here you can observe that integration of v dt is nothing but representing displacement. So we can say it like this: area under displacement. Sorry, area under velocity time graph will give the value of displacement. So area under velocity time graph is equal to nothing but displacement. समझ में आ बात? So once again, I'll explain what about the concept of area under the graph and how we'll use it. So just write down the heading: area under the curve or area under the graph. Heading: area under the curve, where you can just specify if there is a graph between y-axis and x-axis. And if you like to find out area under this curve, so this area will be equal to integration of y dx. Then you can write its application in velocity time graph.
Yes.
Sir, first relation is velocity is equal to rate of change of displacement, ds by dt. From this equation, you can write ds will be equal to v dt. Now, if you are integrating on both the sides, integration of ds is s. S is representing displacement. That will get the value of integration of v dt. So from this equation, you can say that if there is a graph between velocity and time, and if you are finding out area under this velocity time graph with respect to time axis, this will be equal to integration of v dt, which is nothing but displacement. So if you want, you can write in a sentence: area under velocity time graph with respect to time axis, will give the value of displacement. Is it clear? Any doubt?
सर
बोलो बेटा.
सर पर VDT का इंटीग्रेशन का वैल्यू कैसे निकालें?
ऑलरेडी हमने डिस्कस किया है VDT क्या होता है, VDT कैसे इंटीग्रेशन करना है ना? VDT का इंटीग्रेशन हम लोग V एज अ फंक्शन ऑफ टाइम डाल के इंटीग्रेशन करना पड़ेगा. ऑलरेडी हमने क्वेश्चंस किया है, याद है? डिफरेंशियल एप्लीकेशन और डिफरेंशियल इक्वेशन में किया है. इधर हम लोग ऐसा VDT का वैल्यू पुट करके आंसर फाइंड आउट नहीं कर रहा. क्वेश्चन में क्या देगा, जो भी रेक्टेंगल देगा, ट्रायंगल देगा, तो हम लोग उसका एरिया फाइंड आउट कर सकता है. वो एरिया का वैल्यू को डिस्प्लेसमेंट को इक्वेट करेगा बस. इधर हम लोग V का वैल्यू पुट करके फाइंड आउट नहीं कर रहा, जस्ट जो भी शेप दिया है उसका एरिया फाइंड आउट करके कर. ओके.
मतलब सर v को t के फंक्शन में डिफरेंशिएट करके फिर
बेटा
इंटीग्रेट कर.
आप बात नहीं समझ रहा है कि हम लोग इंटीग्रेशन ऑफ वी डी टी करने वाला नहीं है. इंटीग्रेशन ऑफ वी डी टी करने वाला क्वेश्चन ऑलरेडी हमने किया है. ठीक है. आप एप्लीकेशन ऑफ डिफरेंशियल इक्वेशन करके हमने एक पढ़ा था. आप उसमें जाकर रिवाइज करो तो पता चलेगा इंटीग्रेशन ऑफ वी डी टी हमने कैसे किया है. इधर हम लोग ए वी डी टी लिखे कुछ भी करने वाला नहीं है. क्वेश्चन में क्या देगा, वेलोसिटी और टाइम का बीच में ऐसा कुछ ग्राफ देगा. हम लोग क्या फाइंड आउट करेगा, ये ग्राफ का और टाइम एक्सिस का बीच में एरिया फाइंड आउट करेगा एंड विल इक्वेट दैट एरिया टू डिस्प्लेसमेंट. बस.
ओके ओके.
और इधर हम लोग मैथमेटिकली करने वाला नहीं है, एरिया फाइंड आउट करके करने वाला है.
ओके.
Now we'll discuss about the next application. हमारा जो सेकंड इक्वेशन है, now I think you will get an idea that second equation क्या था, a is equal to
dv by dt.
dv divided by dt. So we can write dv is equal to a dt. Now we can integrate on both the sides. If you want, we can put the limit also. Let's say initial velocity u to final velocity v, time take it as t1 to t2, for initial time to final time. So integration of dv is nothing but v, and the value of velocity is changing from initial value to final value will be equal to integration of a dt within the specified time interval, let's say t1 to t2. So now if I'm putting the limit, I'll get as higher limit minus lower limit is equal to integration of a dt from t1 to t2. So same thing we can write it like this. If you are having a graph between acceleration and time, आपको अगर acceleration time graph है, so if you are having an acceleration time graph, so what is area under acceleration time graph? This area will be equal to integration of a dt. So integration of a dt will give the value of v minus u. What is v minus u? Final velocity minus initial velocity, which is nothing but change in velocity.
So we can directly write with the formula y integration of y dx.
Integration of
Y dx, like we can substitute what is on y axis and what is on x axis.
yes. So over here you can write area under this graph is equal to nothing but the value of change in velocity. So अब इधर याद रखना है, अगर acceleration time graph दिया है, अगर velocity time graph दिया है, area under the graph will give the value of displacement. अगर acceleration time graph दिया है, so area under the graph will give the value of change in velocity. ठीक है. बहुत सारा टाइम में ऐसा गलती से आंसर लिखता है is equal to velocity करके. It is not going to give the value of velocity. It is not going to give the value of v. It is given the value of v minus u. So always you should specify that it is v minus u, or you should write change in velocity, not velocity, change in velocity. अगर initial velocity 0 हो गया तो आपको directly velocity का value मिलेगा, but you should not write velocity, should write change in velocity. So write down this one. So just remember that area under acceleration time graph. Area under acceleration time graph will give the value of change in velocity. Will be the value of change in velocity.
Sir, but area rate of change of acceleration is jerk, right?
एक और बार बोलो, क्या बोल रहा है?
Jerk. It should rate of change of acceleration.
We are not finding out rate of change of acceleration. Rate of change of acceleration is slope of acceleration time graph.
Okay.
है ना बेटा?
Okay.
Rate of change of acceleration is slope of acceleration time graph. We are not finding out slope. We are finding out area. Slope is dy by dx. Area is integration of y dx. हो गया?
Yes, sir. Just a second, sir.
Yes, sir.
Okay.
Done, sir.
Okay. So we'll go for the next part. That is our third equation, which was A is equal to V dV divided by ds. So over here you can write V dV is equal to A ds. Now I'm integrating on both the sides. On left side, let's say the value of V is changing from U to V, initial velocity to final velocity. And on right side, displacement is changing from S1 to S2. So integration of V dV. What is integration of V dV?
V square.
V square. V square by 2, not V square, V square by 2.
V square by
Yeah,
2.
and limit is changing from U to V is equal to integration of ADS from initial limit to final limit. So we can put the limit. So this will give the value of V square by 2 minus U square divided by 2. That will give the value of integration of ADS from initial limit to the final limit. Or you can write this will give the value of V square minus U square divided by 2 will be equal to integration of A ds from S1 to S2. So area under acceleration displacement graph. तो इधर आप देखो A और S का बीच में है. So we can write over here, if you are having a graph between acceleration and displacement. So area under this acceleration displacement curve will give the value of integration of ADS, which is equal to nothing but, we can write this area will give the value of V square minus U square divided by 2. Run this one.
So that formula is also derived from your V square minus U square is equal to 2AS.
Yeah, we can derive that formula. We can, whatever may be the formula, everything we can basically derived from that differential equations also.
Okay.
Actually, everything over here is working based on differential equations. आप लोग को 10th क्लास तक differential equation पढ़ाया नहीं है, इसलिए directly बोल देता है कि ऐसे ऐसा area under velocity time graph will give the value of displacement, but they will not show you why it is happening because you don't know differentiation. इसलिए हमने पहले differentiation और सब complete करके kinematics पढ़ाई कर रहे हैं ताकि you will get the exact idea of what is happening.
सर
बोलो बेटा.
सर v का इंटीग्रेशन तो v स्क्वायर बाय 2 है और
Yes.
dv का
नहीं,
तो v है
integration
ना?
of, there is no meaning of integration of v without dv. इंटीग्रेशन ऑफ x raised to n dx होता है, इंटीग्रेशन ऑफ x raised to n नहीं होता है ना बेटा. समझा?
तो इसमें से v का इंटीग्रेशन है ना लेफ्ट हैंड साइड.
नहीं नहीं, आप बात नहीं समझ रहे हैं. देयर इज नो मीनिंग ऑफ इंटीग्रेशन ऑफ v. इंटीग्रेशन ऑफ v dv होता है बिकॉज जो डिफरेंशिएशन का प्रोडक्ट है उसको ही हम लोग इंटीग्रेशन कर सकता है. तो डिफरेंशिएशन के बाद वो dv का टर्म dx का टर्म आ ही जाएगा.
ओके ओके
क्या लिख दिया?
Yes, sir.
So just remember about these parts. So basically everything we are writing by using that differential equations only. We are having three differential equations. So first differential equation था ds divided by v is equal to ds by dt. Second differential equation था which is dv divided by dt. And third differential equation था a is equal to nothing but v dv divided by ds. So based on that only we are writing all these slope of the curve or the value of area under the curve. Okay. So just remember about all these things whenever we are analyzing a graph. Okay.
Sir?
Bolo beta.
Sir, area under displacement time graph will not give any specific value.
No. Actually, we are having only these three equations. वो three equations में वो possible values क्या है वो सब हमने लिख दिया. So area under the graph में either they will give velocity time graph or they will give acceleration time graph or they will give a velocity displacement graph. उसके अलावा sorry acceleration displacement graph. उसके अलावा कुछ graph नहीं देगा.
Oh yes. Okay.
ना? और कुछ ग्राफ दे सकता है मतलब अगर मान लो ऐसा डिस्प्लेसमेंट टाइम ग्राफ दे दिया आपको एंड इफ यू आर फाइंडिंग आउट व्हाट अबाउट द वैल्यू ऑफ एरिया अंडर डिस्प्लेसमेंट टाइम ग्राफ इट्स वैल्यू इज नथिंग बट इंटीग्रेशन ऑफ एस dt बट वी डोंट हैव अ टर्म कॉल्ड इंटीग्रेशन ऑफ एस dt समझा उनको पता नहीं है इंटीग्रेशन ऑफ एस dt क्या होता है सो ऐसा कुछ क्वेश्चन नहीं आएगा समझा
यस सर
So remember these things whenever we are observing any type of graph in case of kinematics. Okay. Now we'll discuss your doubt in question papers. Okay.
Sir,
Yeah.
sir, I have a doubt in first area under the time graph. In that integration of ds equal to integration of v dt, there is no limit.
No, there also we can put the limit. Time is a limit. हमने कितना time में find out करना वो time का limit put कर.
Okay, sir.
Like suppose there is a like we are having three equations. Out of that three equations, first equation was v is equal to ds by dt. So v is equal to ds divided by dt. So we can write ds will be equal to v dt. Now if you are integrating on both the sides, you can put from initial value to final value. Over here the variable is time. So from t1 to t2. The integration of ds is s from initial displacement to final displacement. So that will give the value of integration of v dt from t1 to t2. So this will give the value of s2 minus s1. So final displacement, final position minus initial position is nothing but representing displacement. तो इसलिए मैंने उसको फिर s2 minus s1 नहीं लिखा है. There is no meaning of that.
Okay, sir. Okay.
Because basically that is representing displacement only. Integration of v dt. Either if you want, we can put the limit from t1 to t2. मतलब अगर आप एरिया अंडर द ग्राफ फाइंड आउट कर रहा है तो मान लो आपको अगर इधर से इधर तक का एरिया फाइंड आउट करना है तो विल पुट द लिमिट फ्रॉम लेट्स से t is equal to 0 to t is equal to let's say t1. तो आपको इतना पार्ट का एरिया मिलेगा और ये टाइम में डिस्प्लेसमेंट कितना हो गया उसका वैल्यू मिलेगा.
Okay, sir.
अच्छा.
सर आप क्वेश्चन दे सकते हैं या क्लियर होगा?
Yeah, I'll give some homework. बोलो ये क्वेश्चन पेपर में कुछ कौन सा क्वेश्चन में डाउट है?
9.
First one.
First question.
The first question.
Okay. So over here find the resultant vector shown in figure S. So basically हमको a vector plus b vector plus c vector ऐड करना है. Okay. So अभी देखो this a vector, I can say that a vector is making an angle 37 degree with respect to x axis. So it is better that we can resolve this a vector 5 into its components along x axis and along y axis. So this is 5 and this angle is 37 degree. So bolo, what is component of 5 along this direction? 5. 5 cos 37. Already हमने discuss किया था. You should remember this cos 37. If you are having any doubt, you just draw a right angle triangle. ये 37 होता है और the side which is opposite to that of 37, we can take it as 3, and this will be 4 and this will be 5. So cos 37 is adjacent side, which is 4, and hypotenuse, which is 5. So we'll get the answer as nothing but 4 over here. So 5 का A वाला component हो गया 4. Like that we can find out the component of 5 along this direction, which is 5 sine 37. What is sine 37? Again from this triangle you can observe that opposite side is 3 and adjacent side is 5. Sorry, hypotenuse is 5. So we'll get the answer as nothing but 3. So if you are resolving this 5 vector into components, we will get 4 along x-axis and 3 along y-axis. So I can write this A vector is equal to 4 I cap plus 3 j cap. Is it clear? Any doubt?
No, sir.
Okay. Now I can write this B vector as equal to, B vector is having a magnitude of 3 and it is towards right. So I can write 3 I cap, right? And I can represent this C vector, which is of magnitude 4 and along y-axis. So I can write it as nothing but 4 j cap. Clear? So we can write what is A vector plus B vector plus C vector, which is 4 I cap plus 3 I cap, which is 7 I cap plus 7 j cap. So we can find out, this is our resultant vector in magnitude as well as direction. If you'd like to find out the magnitude of this, under root of 7 square plus 7 square. So we can write as limit 7 root 2.
The second one.
Yeah. Second question is given that vector A is 2 centimeter long and it is 60 degree above x-axis in the first quadrant. Vector B is 2 centimeter long and it is 60 degree below x-axis in the fourth quadrant. Our aim is to find out A vector plus B vector. Abhi dekho, we need to just add these two vectors. So we are having two vectors of equal magnitude, 2 vector and 2 vector. And what about angle between these two vector? 120. So we can directly use that equation, 2 vectors of same magnitude, and so we can use that equation 2a cos theta by 2. So 2 into a ka value 2 tha, cos of theta is 120 by 2, 60, cos 60. Cos 60 is 1 by 2. So 2 into 1 by 2. So the answer will be equal to 2. Or हमने already discussed किया था, if you are having two vectors and angle between them is 120, so if you are adding that two vectors, we are going to get a resultant vector is also same vector. So resultant vector का magnitude आपको मिलेगा 2 and direction it will be 60 so exactly इसका बीच में ही आएगा. It will be along x-axis. So 2 centimeter along x-axis. 2 centimeter along x-axis. बोलो बेटा.
Sir. Third one.
Second, एक मिनट. Second one समझ में आया?
Yes, sir. Sir, ये 2a cos theta by 2 हर equal magnitude के लिए, हर दो.
हाँ, हर एक equal magnitude. Addition के लिए 2a cos theta by 2. Subtraction के लिए 2a sin theta by 2. अगर आप equation पता नहीं है, under root of a square plus b square plus 2ab cos theta भी use कर सकता है, तो भी चलेगा.
Sir.
और इसके साथ ये भी याद रखो, if you are having two vectors, उसका magnitude same है, angle between them 120 है, तो resultant का value भी same आएगा. और if you are having two vectors, angle between them 60 है, and if you are going for a vector minus b vector, तो भी answer आपको same मिलेगा, same magnitude मिलेगा. जो भी notes में लिखा है, एक round पढ़ना है. बोलो.
how will the resultant vector be on x-axis? It should be on
How is the
y-axis.
resultant vector will be?
On
जोर से बोलो.
How will the resultant vector be on x-axis? It should be on y-axis.
It is not like x-axis, y-axis. It's like आपके पास एक वेक्टर है a वेक्टर और दूसरा वेक्टर है लेट्स से a वेक्टर. ये दोनों का मैग्नीट्यूड सेम है, तो आप पैरेललोग्राम कंस्ट्रक्ट करेगा तो रिजल्टेंट एग्जैक्टली इसका बीच में ही आएगा ना. अगर ये टोटल एंगल थीटा है तो ये थीटा बाई 2 और ये भी थीटा बाई 2 में आएगा. ये क्वेश्चन में ये ऐसा दिया है और ऐसा दिया है, इसका टोटल एंगल कितना था 120 था, तो रिजल्टेंट एग्जैक्टली इसका बीच में आएगा ना, इसलिए 60 डिग्री मतलब y एक्सिस x एक्सिस पे आ गया. क्लियर?
Sir, you
Bolo,
had
bolo.
sent this. You had sent this on the NEET group also, na? This question paper.
Yeah, I'll send.
No, sir. Actually, sir, you have sent, but the question numbers in your paper are different than the question numbers in the paper that I have received on the NEET group. So the questions are same.
this is basically IIT पेपर है, नीट का पेपर नहीं है. उसमें थोड़ा बहुत क्वेश्चन सेम ही दिया है.
Yes, sir.
नीट पेपर भी हम अलग से डिस्कस करेंगे. ओके.
Okay.
और थर्ड में डाउट है,
No, sir.
Sir, 9th question.
फोर्थ में डाउट है,
No.
5
Sir, fourth में. Fourth नहीं, sorry, sir. Fifth.
फिफ्थ. या P is an equilibrium. Now let's discuss क्या equilibrium means क्या है. Net force should be equal to 0.
0.
If net force is equal to 0, we can equate force along any direction. आप x axis में equate कर सकता है, y पे equate कर सकता है, z में equate कर सकता है. Okay. So net force acting upward should be equal to net force acting downward. Net force acting towards right should be equal to net force acting towards left. So I'm just going to resolve this T2 into its components. So bolo, what is component of T2 along this direction?
T2 cos 60.
T2 cos 60. What is cos 60?
1 by 2.
1
1 by
by
2. So a component हो गया T2 by 2. Like that I can resolve T1 into its components. So what is component of T1 along this direction? T1
T1 cos 30.
cos 30. What is cos 30?
Root 3 by 2.
Root 3 by 2. Now we can observe that as it is given that net force is equal to 0, force acting towards right should be equal to force acting towards left. That means we can write this T1 by T2 divided by 2 should be equal to T1 root 3
Root
divided
3
by 2.
answer.
So we can cancel this. So we can write the value of this T1 divided by T2
1
should
by
be equal to 1 divided by root 3. Okay.
1 by root 3.
Got it.
So I didn't understand.
बेटा इसमें क्या दिया है? It is an equilibrium. What do you mean by equilibrium? Net force equal to
Net
0.
force is 0. Yeah.
तो कितना force towards right exert कर रहा है उतना force towards left भी exert करेगा.
Yes. Yes.
So resolve each and everything into x and y axis.
Yeah.
तो T2 का x कॉमन निकाला, T1 का भी x कॉमन निकाला,
Yeah.
और ये जो फोर्स है उसको कुछ x कॉमन है नहीं है, वो y एक्सिस पे ही है.
Yes. 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 Right.
उसको इक्वेट कर दो.
Yeah.
Sir,
बोलो बेटा.
sir, this answer is wrong. It shows 2 is the answer.
Yes. I was
क्या हुआ?
asked 1 by root 3,
Yeah, 1 by root 3 is the answer. What happened?
but they have given 2 as
1 by
answer.
root 3 is the answer. No, sir, 1 by root 3 is given.
1 by root 3 is given.
आप की एक और बार देखो. This is answer. If there
Sir,
is
in
any
the
mistake,
answer
I'll
key,
check.
this is the answer. In the
Yes,
answer
sir.
key, this
1
is
by
the
root
only.
3 is the
It is the
answer.
answer. It is correct, sir.
Yeah.
Correct, sir.
6 में कुछ डाउट है? 7 8
Yes, 8.
8 में डाउट है?
Sir,
Yes. Sir. Yes, sir.
Sir,
हाँ, okay. So in 8th question it is given that subtraction vectors obeys commutative law. तो हमने डिस्कस किया था what do you mean by commutative law? What is commutative?
A plus B equals B plus A.
Yeah. So commutative means A plus B is equal to B plus A. So they are asking subtraction of vectors obey commutative law. मतलब अगर आप a वेक्टर माइनस b वेक्टर करेगा और b वेक्टर माइनस a वेक्टर करेगा, is it same or different? Is it same?
No.
No.
So
Different.
different. So we can say that it is not obeying this commutative law. Second one, because का magnitude तो same हो सकता है but direction opposite अलग अलग.
डायरेक्शन अलग है.
Next one it is associative law. What is associative law? Associative
A plus
law
B
कैसा
plus C
representation?
equals
Yeah,
B
a
plus
plus b plus c, a plus b plus c is equal to a plus b plus c.
प्लस
तो अगर हमने इसको सब्ट्रैक्शन में देखेगा, मतलब a वेक्टर माइनस b वेक्टर माइनस c वेक्टर, is it equal to a वेक्टर माइनस b वेक्टर माइनस c वेक्टर? तो anyway,
No.
you know that a b माइनस c का डायरेक्शन और a माइनस b का डायरेक्शन तो अलग अलग ही आएगा, तो वो सब्ट्रैक्शन में भी हम लोग यूज नहीं कर सकता है. एंड लास्ट वन है डिस्ट्रीब्यूटिव.
लास्ट वाला ही रहेगा. लास्ट वाला
तो जो डिस्ट्रीब्यूटिव है उसका मीनिंग है a into b plus c. a into b plus c is equal to a into b plus a into c. अगर आप इसको सब्ट्रैक्शन में लिखेगा तो इट बिकम्स a into b वेक्टर माइनस c वेक्टर is it equal to a into b वेक्टर माइनस a into c वेक्टर. तो ये चलेगा. हमने a माइनस b माइनस c कर रहे उसके साथ मल्टीप्लाई कर रहा है या मल्टीप्लाई करने के बाद सब्ट्रैक्शन कर रहा है, सो विल गेट दी सेम आंसर. बिकॉज ये दोनों केस में हमने a माइनस b कर रहा है, b माइनस a नहीं कर रहा. तो डिस्ट्रीब्यूटिव लॉ ओबे करता है, बाकी दोनों सब्ट्रैक्शन में ओबे नहीं करता है. बट आप एडिशन का केस में ओबे करेगा, प्रॉब्लम नहीं है. a प्लस b इज इक्वल टू b प्लस a.
एडिशन में तो ऑल रहेगा.
हाँ, ऑल रहेगा.
सर 9 और 10.
Yeah. Ninth one is given that the sum of two unit vector is also a vector of unit magnitude. The magnitude of difference of two unit vector is. तो क्वेश्चन में क्या दिया है? sum of two unit vector. मतलब आपके पास एक वेक्टर है a वेक्टर, उसका मैग्नीट्यूड 1 है, एंड b वेक्टर उसका भी मैग्नीट्यूड 1 है, एंड हमको जो रिजल्टेंट मिला है a वेक्टर प्लस b वेक्टर करके जो आंसर मिला है उसका मैग्नीट्यूड भी 1 है. सो ऑलरेडी हमने डिस्कस किया था, इफ टू वेक्टर्स आर हैविंग सेम मैग्नीट्यूड, सो द रिजल्टेंट भी आपको सेम मैग्नीट्यूड मिलेगा. वो कब मिलेगा?
When theta is
When you add it.
when angle between them is
0.
120.
120. Now, when two vectors are having same magnitude and angle between them is 120, then resultant vector will also be equal to of same magnitude. ठीक है, नोट्स में जो भी लिखा है ध्यान से पढ़ना है. सो वी कैन राइट, दो वेक्टर का मैग्नीट्यूड 1 1 दिया है, रिजल्टेंट का भी 1 दिया है, उसका मतलब क्या है? ये दोनों वेक्टर का बीच में एंगल 120 है. सो इनडायरेक्टली वी कैन से दैट वी आर हैविंग टू वेक्टर्स, वन वेक्टर एंड वन वेक्टर, एंड इसका बीच में एंगल 120 है. तो इतना इंफॉर्मेशन फर्स्ट स्टेटमेंट से मिलेगा. नाउ दे आर आस्किंग टू फाइंड आउट व्हाट अबाउट देयर सब्ट्रैक्शन वेक्टर. अगर मैंने वन वेक्टर माइनस वन वेक्टर कर रहा है तो क्या मिलेगा आंसर? So two vectors of same magnitude. So what about the equation for subtraction vector?
2a sin theta by 2.
2a sin theta by 2. So according to this, 2 into a का value 1 है, sin 120 by 2, that is sin 60. So we can write this 2 into 1 into, what is sin 60?
Root 3 by 2.
Root 3 by 2. So we can cancel this 2. So we'll get the answer as nothing but root 3. Got it?
Got it.
Yes, sir.
Next one.
Sir, can you please show that solution? I need to take it.
Yes. फिर से बोल रहा हूँ, हमेशा बहुत सारा क्वेश्चन आएगा इसके ऊपर, याद रखना है. when two vectors same magnitude, resultant will also have same magnitude when angle between them is 120. Two vectors same magnitude, A minus B will give the same value if angle between them is 60.
Yes.
120 पे ऐड करेगा तो भी सेम मिलेगा, 60 में सब्ट्रैक्ट करेगा तो भी सेम मिलेगा, याद रखो.
Yes. Sir, done.
Got it.
10th one, it is given that a car weighing 100 kilogram is on the slope that makes an angle 30 degree with the horizontal. The component of weight parallel to the slope is. So if you are having an inclined plane or a slope, let's say this angle is theta, and if you are keeping an object over here, it may be a car or any object, इसका mass है m, इसका weight exert करेगा always perpendicular to the horizontal or vertically downward. So this will be equal to mg. If you like to find out its components along the inclined plane, or sometimes they'll ask to find out perpendicular to the inclined plane. अगर ये एंगल थीटा है, ये एंगल 90 है, तो ये एंगल 90 minus theta रहेगा, and this angle will be equal to theta. So we can resolve this mg into its components. Component of mg along this direction is mg cos theta, because ये theta लिखा है, and a component होगा mg sin theta.
mg sin 90 minus theta ना sir.
Either you should write cos 90 minus theta or you should write
Cos
sin
of
theta.
90 minus theta sin.
समझा क्या बोला है?
Yes sir.
हाँ, तो मैंने ये थीटा के हिसाब से लिखा है, ठीक है? तो this can be equal to mg cos theta and opposite side क्या होता है mg sin theta, ऐसा. I think it's clear, right? वो थीटा कैसे आ गया वो दिखाने के लिए मैंने वो 90 minus theta लिखा है, because we are having a right angle triangle. ये थीटा हो गया, इधर हमने परपेंडिकुलर ड्रॉ किया, तो ये 90 होगा, ये 90 minus theta होगा. Then 11 में कुछ डाउट है?
Sir, 12th.
A vector is given as I cap 2I cap plus 3J cap plus 4K cap. The component in YZ plane is. देखो YZ plane मतलब क्या है? Y axis और Z axis को देखना है, समझा? तो YZ में 3J cap plus 4K cap. तो टोटल YZ में कंपोनेंट कितना है? अंडर रूट ऑफ 3 स्क्वायर प्लस अंडर रूट ऑफ 4 स्क्वायर. तो क्या आ जाएगा? 5 आ जाएगा ना बेटा?
हाँ सर.
ठीक है.
ZX में मेरे को डाउट है.
हाँ, ZX में तो आप 2 और 4 को लेगा ना?
हाँ.
Yes sir.
तो 2 का क्या हो गया? अंडर रूट ऑफ 4 प्लस 4 का क्या हो गया? रूट ऑफ 16. सो ये क्या हो जाएगा? रूट ऑफ 20.
आना चाहिए था 2 root 3. Yes sir. Yes sir. वो गलती है वहाँ पे.
क्या हुआ?
सर ऑप्शन सेकंड ऑप्शन में अगर आप देखें तो 5 and 2 root 3 दिया है, हालांकि 2 root 5 होना चाहिए.
हाँ सर.
या 2 root 5 आना चाहिए. यस 2 root 5 आना चाहिए. हाँ, वो क्लेम करता है उसको.
सर
बोलो बेटा.
सर 10th वाला सॉल्व कर दो ना.
The component of car weight parallel to the slope is. तो कार का वेट क्या दिया है? ये सेम है बेटा, इसका वैल्यू पुट करना है, नथिंग एल्स. mg sin थीटा का वैल्यू फाइंड आउट करना है. m का वैल्यू क्या हो गया? 100 हो गया. g का वैल्यू क्या हो गया? 10 हो गया. sin ऑफ थीटा क्या दिया है?
30.
थीटा दिया है 30 दिया 30 दिया. सो sin 30. व्हाट इज sin 30? 1/2 है ना? तो 100 into 10 into 1/2. तो ये क्या हो जाएगा? 5 हो जाएगा. तो 500 हो जाएगा. समझा?
सर वो एक्चुअली मैं वो वेट को ही वेट ही 100 पकड़ रहा था, क्योंकि वेट में.
ओके, मास लेके किया, वेट लेके नहीं किया.
हाँ थैंक यू.
13 में डाउट है?
Yes, sir.
So it is given that again it is at equilibrium. Equilibrium means हमेशा याद रखना net force 0 है. So tension T1 and T2 are the value of tension T1 and T2 are x and y. If 20 Newton is vertically downward, then x and y are. तो basically हमको x का वैल्यू और y का वैल्यू फाइंड आउट करना है. तो again हमने पहले एक क्वेश्चन किया था, ऐसा आप कर सकता है. Like you can take it as the net force acting on this object should be equal to 0. So we can equate, we can just resolve the forces along x and y axis, and we can write the net force equal to 0. So first I'm going to resolve this T1 into its components along x and y axis. आप ऐसा resolve कर सकता है. ये angle 60 दिया है, तो ये angle क्या रहेगा? 90 रहेगा. So this angle is going to be nothing but 30. So we can resolve T1 into component. Component of T1 along this direction is T1 cos 60.
Cos theta.
Cos 30. So this is T1 into cos 30 is basically root 3 divided by 2. Same as like that, you can write component of T1 along this direction. That is T1 sin 60, sin 30. Sin 30 is 1 by 2. So we can write as T1 by 2. Like that, we can resolve T2 into its components. Component of T2 along this direction and component of T2 along this direction. So this angle is given as 60, a 90 hai, so this is going to be 30. So component of T2 along this direction is T2 cos 30. Cos 30 is root 3 by 2. So T2 root 3 by 2. And component of T2 along this direction is T2 sin 30. That is T2 by 2. So we resolve each and every vector into its component along x and y axis. So मैंने हर एक component को एक और बार लिख रहा हूँ to avoid any type of confusion. So net force acting towards right is T2 root 3 divided by 2. Net force acting in downward direction is एक 20 न्यूटन फोर्स है, उसके अलावा एक T2 by 2 भी एक्सर्ट कर रहा है, तो 20 plus T2 by 2. Force acting in upward direction is T1 root 3 divided by 2. And force acting towards left is T1 divided by 2. अभी आप इक्वेट कर सकता है नेट फोर्स को, and we can find out what about the value of T1 and the value of T2. So if you are writing force acting towards right is equal to force acting towards left, so we can write force acting towards right is T2 root 3 divided by 2 should be equal to T1 divided by 2. So we can cancel this. So we'll get one relation. T1 is equal to root 3 times of T2. Take it as equation number 1. Now we can write force acting upward should be equal to force acting downward. That is T1 root 3 divided by 2 is equal to 20 plus T2 divided by 2. Now instead of T1, we can write root 3 T2. So instead of this T1, if I am putting root 3 into T2 into root 3 divided by 2 is equal to 20 plus T2 divided by 2. So root 3 into root 3 is 3. 3 T2 divided by 2 is equal to 20 plus T2 divided by 2. So we can write the value of 3 T2 divided by 2 minus T2 divided by 2, which is equal to 20. So which can be written as nothing but T2. So T2 is equal to 20. Got it? So T2 का value 20 मिला है, तो we can find out the value of T1 because T1 is root 3 times of T2. So this is going to be 20 root 3. Got it?
सर पर ये
So कोई भी क्वेश्चन में नेट फोर्स 0 दिया है तो हमेशा याद रखो, आप कोई भी आप इसको रिजॉल्व करके एक्स एक्सिस में फोर्स 0 लिख सकता है.
Hello, sir. Hello, sir.
Hello, sir.
Hello, sir.